Hi, I'm back home, which means I survived the trip. But I really wanted to talk about something that I glossed over in my intro video. And if you have already watched it, thank you. It's I have no idea why anyone would want to watch these videos. I did take them more as a record for myself because I have terrible memory, ADHD brain. But the trip wasn't really a plan. It started with chipmunks. That is very true. And they started playing in my attic, and it became like Lollapalooza for chipmunks every afternoon. And there was just a party happening. And I have an old home, and it had a lot of cracks. And once they get in there, they all go in there. And around the same time, I had rats that went into my crawl space. So basically, from above and below, I was being invaded by rodents. And the amount of repairs cost over $20,000. So it wiped out my savings. And since the film industry has been pretty non existent for a long time, I was struggling and I didn't really know what to do. And so it came down to a point where, without steady income, although I am doing graphic design now, so that's not really a plug. That's just, I have other resources now. But the house is what I had, and I wasn't willing to sell it. And I was even uncomfortable with the idea of renting it out because I'm a very private person. I like my space. But, things lined up, and a friend of a friend needed a place to stay for a few months. And being able to do a short-term rental allowed me to go and see family. And in truth, because I am a private person, I was also emotionally not sure how it would go. So I was hesitant in videos to talk about it. But my mother was ill, and so was my aunt, who is my godmother, and one is in Oklahoma and the other was in North Carolina. And I had been trying to figure out a way to go fly to see them both and had it planned when I learned about the house infestation. So why am I telling you all my personal shit? Partly because I want people who do watch this, or who are interested, or maybe who are in a bind in their life, to understand that I get that. I do. I get it. And I knew that the trip to see my family members was going to be emotional and difficult, regardless of what was going on with my house. And so part of the idea was maybe I could drive across country and I would be able to have some adventures in between. But mathematically, I was working that out, gas versus flights. I have a dog, so I have to drop her off with my ex-husband. And so there were all these things to consider before the house incident. And I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. And I don't know about you, but because I have an ADHD brain, I know that my memory is terrible. And I also know that when things are very dramatic and scary, I tend to, it all kind of goes away in a blur. And that's not how I live my life. I live my life very big and in the moment. And so I decided to record as much of it as possible. And it wasn't natural for me to do. It's very strange. It's still very, like editing videos, looking at myself, hearing my voice. It's awful. But there's a part of me that also knows that, I hope to be in my 80s and look back at this video and laugh at how spectacularly I sort of fumbled through the end of my 40s. So midlife, ladies and gentlemen out there, hard times come and go. And I actually think that embracing that is a beautiful thing. And I will say that in the end, what I got out of the entire experience was so unexpected and so amazing that I felt like I actually think I need to post these videos. So the early ones are kind of terrible. They do get better. But if you stick with it, I think that you're going to see a journey the way that I did, because I not only felt like I saw the country, but really, unless you're in politics, it's pretty rare to go through 15 states in this nation over the span of a couple of months. You know, if you're not on a tour bus with a band or with a politician, it's very rare to go through that many states in this country and to interact with people. And I will say that it gave me a lot of hope, which is, I didn't leave with much hope considering the world right now. And watching these videos is really reminding me that people are really good. And if we strip away all the bullshit that we've constructed around our ideologies, we can really live a much happier, easier life. And so my hope is to share one of my lowest moments in life and show how I dealt with it. And I built one adventure after another. And Mount Diablo was just the beginning. It was where I started to plan the first leg of the trip. And the trip actually broke into 4 pieces. So as I go, I'm going to do a few of these little videos to explain what was going on or why I did what I did, because it isn't going to make a lot of sense that I drove all the way up the Oregon coast after coming down from Washington, and then I came back down again and I went back and forth. None of that's going to make sense, but I will try to give you some context. And I don't know, if it's only my friends and family out there watching this, that's okay too. I love you guys, and you mean everything to me. And this was an incredible experience last year. So if you were part of it, thank you. And I don't know, let me know what you think. And if you're going to be mean, I don't know, find something else to do. All right.